I went to the doctor because I felt like I had waves in my stomach. He said my heart rate was really high. And they're like, "Do you have anxiety?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have panic attacks and anxiety." And then they talked to me, and then I looked at my chart and it said diagnosis agoraphobia, panic and anxiety. I write a letter because I felt so bad and I felt so insignificant and so ashamed that I could even stand to be there with these loving kids on a bright sunny day. I felt empty and hollow inside, and I was like, how could a human being feel that empty and hollow and scared inside? It's not living its existence. So I got out a piece of paper and I wrote, "Dear Universe." And I begged the universe. I said, "Please help me. Please heal me because I don't want to live this way." I said, "I want you to heal me or please take me because this is not the life I want to live." And I remember writing it, and I put it in a book and I put it back on the shelf. I I spent many years in shame and embarrassment just from being agoraphobic and just um not it's not that I didn't like myself. I just wanted me to be more confident and more putting myself out there. And so I would say I had disappointment in myself. Now, how can I be that person that I was looking for when I had severe anxiety and agoraphobia? How can I help someone like that? And now I just want to give hope.
I want to apologize for the interruption. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really helps out the channel and you'll never miss an episode. What's your encouragement for other people that are struggling with agoraphobia? Like, how would you recommend them to approach it and get to a point of healing?
Of course, the thing that you don't want to do when you're in that situation is go see a doctor. Like that was the last thing I wanted to do was be associated, but there was a point where I ended up there, and I think one of the things was a baby step of my doctor prescribing me Boost Bar, which is a low dose, supposedly non-habit forming anti-anxiety medication. So I took that, and also on the side he did give me low doses of Xanax for if I really had to travel somewhere. So for a while that was something I took, and it was almost like a band-aid. So it would help me for a while, but I still knew I had all these other issues. And now I think I would start at a doctor's office, even though you don't want to get there. Have a friend take you, and if medication's your choice, if that's an option for you, maybe you need to do that for a while just to be able to get out to your therapist appointment. I found a good therapist, and she didn't come along first. The other ones would just tell me, "Oh, just get out there, just take every opportunity," without knowing I can't, lady.
Not every therapist is good, or not
Yeah.
every therapist is a fit for you, I think is a better way to put that. It's what you make it, and having a good therapist makes it totally different. Totally different.
Oh
I
yeah.
think, because I went through several too.
A good therapist, find that one that resonates with you. And she gave me helpful resources. Like she's the one who just introduced me to Byron Katie. She has something called the work, and you ask yourself, is it true? So I do that in times. I ask myself, is it true?
And so, like,
And
you'll
you,
have like an anxiety thought, and then you'll ask yourself, is
yes,
that true? Oh, okay.
yes. This morning, I meditated to Wayne Dyer. So I do a lot of meditation and I exercise. I do 30 minutes in the gym this morning. So and I really had to change my diet. I know probably I didn't want to hear this when I had anxiety and agoraphobia about changing my diet, but there's certain things that were triggers to the way I was feeling. I limit my sugar, and I love coffee, but I don't drink coffee anymore because it was contributing to my stomach problems, the IBS. And I love beer, hoppy, dark German beer. And I realized that that was contributing to my anxiety and just my weight. So being aware and just learning to know who I am and what my body likes and what's good for my mental health and who's good to have around me, and changing my words of I don't say responsible anymore, because that's a big weight. When I say, oh, I'm responsible for that, that is such a big weight to carry. Now I say I have a choice. And then just knowing that, a choice, I have a choice. It lifts everything up and it's so much lighter. So I do have choices, and I can say no now, where I never said no before. I was like the yes girl. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll volunteer. And then I feel totally awful about it because I'm like, why did I raise my hand? I don't want to do it. And I thought, oh, it'll make me look better. It'll give me some power. And it's like, no, the power's already in you. So just, yeah, that's helped a lot.
I think something, going back to the diet thing, that was also like a huge shift for me, because I started listening to a lady named Rhonda Patrick, and she does a lot of studies on depression, aging, like just typical American stuff like diabetes. She does a lot of like diabetes too. But in her studies, basically, she was talking about how she found like sugars linked to depression, and then also a lack of vitamin D, and just like there's like some like vitamin D and omega-3 and like too much sugar consumption basically will help like cause depression. And I'm not saying that everyone's depression could be cured with, you know, their diet or something like that, but it's just like there's a heavy correlation.
A lot of people have lost loved ones through COVID. I lost my father-in-law, Roger Simmons, and he was the man who took over in my husband's place when my husband was sick and battling his addiction and was not around. There's people like that that I adore and that just kind of take over when we're in a down place and step into our lives, and they're angels. And maybe in some way I can be someone's angel. So I think there are steps, and it's going to take work. I mean, it's not something that you can just think that you can do overnight. And I wish it was like that, but it's not. And just don't give up and find out who you really are.